Welcome to an incomplete guide to personal growth. We invite you to take a breath and take a listen to our podcast that explores the wonder, humor, challenges, and sometimes those self-inflicted wounds on a journey of personal growth.
Our weekly podcast conversations include stories, resources, and tools that you can incorporate into your daily life. We're the mother-daughter duo of Sydney
And Kelly.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Sydney.
Happy New Year. It's our first episode of the new year.
It is. Which is really funny.
Isn't it?
Because I was thinking, when we started our podcast, I made the mistake of going to the eye doctor before my
Before the year or whatever.
year was out because I had this vision change and I was so scared that it was because my dad had that vision stuff going on.
Yes.
And so I went in and I had to pay.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
I do
right.
remember that. And we did banter on that.
So this morning,
I know.
I'm out of my right contacts for some reason, but I have my left ones.
Weird.
But but the website was shut down where I was trying to order them from. I was having issues, so I called the eye doctor, and I was like, "Oh, I know I'm coming up on my regular thing, but I need some more contacts before that happens." And so she said, "Oh, fine, I'll do it." So I had her in my AirPods, whatever, right? And I was needing to go. I had meditation this morning, so I was needing to leave the house, and I was waiting, and it was taking forever. So I thought, I'll just get in the car, head out, and I did that. And we have a long driveway, right?
Yeah.
So I'm down the driveway and out into the cul-de-sac area, and I'm like, I know she talks softly. I can't hear her at all. Well, I had left my phone back at the house. And so I thought, oh my God, I hope I didn't hang up. This is going to take forever. So I go back up and I get my phone. And I had to find it first. And I get my phone. And she's still on there trying to order. And so I didn't miss anything.
That is so funny.
Isn't that crazy? But I'd never done that. Here I am thinking, boy, she's getting really soft. I can't hear her at all now.
That is so funny.
Well, I was wondering why my AirPods kept dinging, but it was kept
'Cause you were
telling me I
leaving
didn't have a
your
phone.
phone. Oh my
Anyway, it was
God.
rather humorous, so that's how I started my morning. So on top of that,
Yes.
I went to get my hair cut, but didn't get it cut because we decided it looked fine. I didn't want to cut anything off yet.
I've never done that before.
She said one lady came in and said her hair didn't grow, so she didn't get it cut.
That is so good.
Yeah, isn't it funny? So anyway,
Wow. You've had a weird day.
I have.
That's funny. Okay. So,
Yeah.
this month's kind of theme, if you will, is we want to set our listeners up for success for the new year in a mindset way,
Right.
So we're beginning with what I guess we kind of think is almost not total, probably the root. Maybe that's fair to say. The root of it all.
The root of it all.
And that is simply loving yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Loving yourself.
Yeah.
Seeing yourself as beloved.
Yeah. And good.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's our theme for today. So I feel like when it comes to loving ourselves and just thinking that we're good, because I think our first and original idea was like we're just innately good and we want to also, but I feel like this is all kind of tied together. Is if you have that foundation, so many other good things can be built on it. Yeah. That is like knowing you're good and loved and beloved is like the absolute, I feel like, foundation of like what then you then build everything else on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives you the confidence, I think, and ability to do that in a better way. In a way that isn't harmful to yourself and others.
Yeah, because you can build love and confidence and that stuff from other things, other people, whatever, but those can crumble away. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
So you have to do it from within.
Yeah.
to create, the best start that you can, I feel like.
You have to do it the hard way.
So you had some thoughts I saw about loving yourself like your neighbor. So like kind of turning the
let me go.
The usual phrase, love your neighbor as yourself, but turning
there's a
it.
scripture that says love,
Yeah. But then this is like turning it kind of, which I think is interesting.
Well, it is in that what does that really mean to love your neighbor as yourself?
Yeah.
Love your neighbor as yourself. Oh.
Yeah.
How do I love myself? That's the question it comes back to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not seeing a lot of really people that love themselves if I'm watching the actions that I'm seeing today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just in general on any social media, any media at all.
Yeah.
It just amazes me. But go ahead.
And I think too, for some people, they sometimes love their neighbor better than they love themselves. I feel like it's kind of also where my mind will go.
Sometimes they do that, right? Yeah. But how genuine is it? Yeah. How fast will that love turn?
That's true too.
Oh, well, they got theirs anyway, or whatever it may be. So I come from a premise I just deeply hold on to, that we are first and foremost good. When we are born, we are good.
Yeah.
There's a preciousness, there's a sacredness, there's a soul, whatever terminology you want to use. I believe that we're good.
Yeah.
And that comes from my faith. And life comes and happens. Yeah. Teachers may not always respect us or lift us up. Thankfully, many do. Right? I don't want best teachers because I had the best with that. But it takes that. It takes a friend to say something. It takes a parent.
Yeah, parents
to say something derogatory. It takes that, and slowly, we begin to believe that the negative.
Yeah.
And social media today has heightened all that. Yeah. Especially, you can see that the impact on our the kids.
The kids, yeah.
But I just believe we're good. And I don't mean we're perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a difference.
I mean,
Yeah.
Because, we're good. And authenticity is the way, for me, that I came in soul searching myself to go, and to come to the fact that I am.
Yeah.
I'm good. And it doesn't mean I do the right things all the time, but it means that I've examined myself. And as much as I believe I'm good, I believe that the Creator
believes that too.
Believes that. That God, for my words, I will use that God created good.
Yeah.
All things.
All things. Yeah.
And somewhere even mosquitoes. But anyway, there's some purpose out there. We don't know what. No, I'm just
I know. Right?
But anyway, I believe that. But what I had to come to believe is I am good even with my personality traits that may hinder me in ways.
Yeah.
Because if I'm really honest with myself, think I'm good, genuinely I am good first.
Yes.
And when I'm with my flaws, I can look at those and hold those up and know that does not make me quote bad.
Yeah.
I look at them and go, wow, some of those flaws get you places, but how do you live and how do you make those precious? You don't just keep doing them as an excuse. Well, that's my personality. I like to cuss.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really a great thing
to do all the time.
To do. Yes, there are times when it helps with pain. I have heard.
Yes.
So,
or like,
but you don't at people. There's anyway.
And some people,
one of
I feel like too, some people like say, oh, well, it's just my personality to be blunt. I'm like, okay, there's a way to be honest and say, and do express your opinions, but there's a way to do it.
Yes.
than hiding behind the word blunt or whatever. You know, it's
Right.
like there are proper ways. So it's, you know, it's seen as a flaw, but being honest as people, giving your real opinion, that is a good gift.
Yes.
It's the way that you express it in the world, you know?
And the more I know that about myself, maybe I am,
or no, or I don't have a filter.
Blunt.
I have no filter.
I have no filter. Well, yeah, you can find one.
An excuse.
It's an excuse. And to go, I wonder how I can be honest in a way that is not damaging to others, or less damaging, because sometimes honesty is. But I mean, just honesty as, how can I do that in a way that is more loving and caring? So it's seeing those and not saying, well, that's what I am. I guess I won't have friends because I just have to tell them their haircut's ugly. You know, I mean, it.
Yeah. No,
I'm
it's
just
true.
saying, you know, what?
Yes. No, that's so good. You have some good stories of you showing your self-love and like to others and presenting, I don't know, kind of boundaries, but just in a way that it's like, okay, I made a mistake, but it's okay.
Right.
You know, you have some.
One of them is a very simple one. It was not fun at the time.
I'm sure.
But it was I was playing softball.
Yeah.
And I had so much fun that summer. Anyway, I was playing softball and I was a catcher. And I come from a family that's competitive and
just a little
sports oriented. And so I was playing catcher and there was a pop-up fly and I missed it. And all I could hear was my dad yelling how I missed the ball.
Yeah.
And after the game,
it's like,
I
no
went
duh.
to him. I said, you know, I think I know that I missed the ball even more than you did. Because I'm the one
that missed it.
That's standing there with the glove.
Yeah.
And the ball's down there on the dirt. and we had a conversation about not
yelling at
coming to my games and the boundaries there. And so the example of that is that I missed the ball. It didn't make me a bad catcher.
No.
I was not bad at catching. I missed a ball.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm the first one when I'm watching a football game and somebody misses something, and then I have to pull myself out and go, yeah, that was one. And how many touchdowns or how many other catches have they made? Right? Yeah. That doesn't make that person. Right? So my other mistakes, truly, as a parent,
make so many.
Overreacting to a child that I imagine me doing that as a kid did not make me. It wasn't the total package of a parent.
Yeah.
It was a moment. What makes the parent is going back and saying, you know, that was a wrong call on my part.
Oh, definitely.
Do you see? You know, and so that makes
not the mistake.
Not the mistakes. We are not that. I'm not this one thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
But the key is recognizing it, because when I don't, if I allow myself to run with, well, that's who I am, that's what I am.
It gets dark
hard
fast,
to come back.
You know? Yeah, the spiral.
You know, and then you begin to think, well, that's who I am.
Yes.
And, you know, so I can reflect in ways, right?
Yeah.
And I can, it's just the awareness of our flaws.
So, can I ask a question?
No.
Because you said that like believing in good like comes from just like one of your core values and like your, you know, for you, your religion and spirituality. But do you know when you kind of like solidified that, when you found your goodness and you're like, I am just good and I'm, you know, really?
Yeah. It wasn't like overnight.
Yeah.
But I remember working toward that.
Okay.
And this moment of, I'm sorry. My gosh. My ADD brain is going, we just saw Wicked recently.
Quit.
There's a song about good in there. Okay.
Yes.
So let me come back.
Yes. It's a good song.
Part of it is that people are going to get so tired of this song. 139.
Oh, yeah.
I did go to some therapy because some counseling because I was dealing with some stuff at work and homes and my home, and I was like, I need to see why I'm feeling these feelings. So I that's from that song too.
I know it is.
I'm sorry. God, people, I hope this doesn't mess y'all up. So but I was going, to figure out why I was jealous and why I was going, what was going on in my life, and or whatever it was. And so, I was examining myself, which is self-reflective, right?
Yeah.
And then I was reading this Psalm 139 over and over, and it begins, "Oh, you know me."
Yeah.
And I thought, you know me. And you love me. And there's a book, I wrote it in this book. It's not from this book, but I was doing a study, and there was a story about somebody, and she had had a really rough life. But she had said, "Who I am before God is all I have to be." And it struck me, and I just kept ruminating over that. Who I am, there's no pretenses. I am me.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
And my understanding is that just the Creator, the God, the universe, only the Spirit only wants the best for us. And if that's what is wanted, why wouldn't I want that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I love me in that same way?
Yeah.
You don't have to pretend to be what society wants you to be. You don't have to pretend to be the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect child, whatever it is. I don't like to cook. Well, there you go. You are not really a good wife or a mother. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's but I just have to be me.
Yeah.
And there are going to be people that go, "You're not my cup of tea."
That's fine.
And that's okay, because there's a lot of flavors out there.
There are a lot of flavors.
So if that makes sense.
Yes.
So that was probably in my early 30s.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, so I like the touch on like, we can have mistakes and flaws, because I think sometimes the idea of like self-love and people wrap it in with self-care and all that stuff, it's good that it's positive, but sometimes I think it's like too positive. It's like where you just put yourself up on a pedestal, and that is not the point.
No, the point is to see yourself as you are. And what I have come to find is the more that I can just be authentic with myself, and who I am is who I am, and recognizing my mistakes, recognizing when I fly off the handle, when I do what I do, judging whatever it may be, because we all do it at one point or another. When I do that and look at myself with real glasses, not rose-colored or anything else, I can look at others and have the compassion that I offer myself, I genuinely can offer others. When before I might have been, "Oh, that's good. You're not that." But no, I really mean it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not turning on a spot the minute that something goes south with somebody.
Yes.
It's like, no. We all have stuff.
Yes.
And the more I can see mine and genuinely, then the more I'm with others. Yeah. And that's I have to say, it shocked me. I was like,
Yeah, that's cool.
You have compassion. True compassion. It's shocking. I'm not the kind one of the family. So that
was so funny. So what are like some daily practical, do you have any? Because I feel like people are just like, "Oh, just love yourself."
Yeah.
That's easier said than done. And not things like do a face mask or just go out and get yourself a treat. It's like those things are nice, but that does not equal.
I think a couple things. One is, if you're in a spa, if you're in a place, really highlight what you are good at.
Yeah.
You know what? I am funny at times. I am. I can lighten a room. I can do this. I can say a good prayer. That's not me. I'm talking about other people. But what is it that you're good at? What do you cherish that you do?
I like that.
I'm creative. You have a friend that can make cards that
Oh
are
my gosh.
outrageous.
Outrageous. Yes.
how wonderful. And that's a gift she gives.
Yeah.
Right? So look at what you do that you are. And then, when you do cut somebody off in traffic, or somebody cuts you off and you start blah, 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 would I say that to myself?
Yeah.
No.
You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're going through.
And it's kind of like you're offering yourself compassion when you do that to others, because you go, oh yeah, I remember when I cut somebody off. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Didn't make me a bad driver.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like taking that extra moment to pause.
Extra moment to pause when I overreact, when I say something and then go, that came out not as I intended. Don't just keep that to yourself. If you need to say it to somebody else.
You say it to somebody, yeah.
The other thing is quit saying I should have, could have.
You hate those words.
No,
you don't hate because you don't hate, but you very much dislike
those
them.
Because oughts and should plant the guilt.
Yes.
And instead, I wish I hadn't said that. I hope to do different next time.
Yeah.
And you're just being gentle with yourself. You're recognizing the humanity in yourself. So to be kind, if there is a book or a scripture or something that inspires you, that will help remind you,
then
do that. Read that, and keep it over and
you can
over and
make
over.
a little mantra for yourself
Right,
out of it,
until it settles in, and then it becomes more natural.
Yeah, definitely. Those are good.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I will say this: loving yourself, whether it comes to just love yourself. Yeah. It sounds like such a cliche, and I hate cliches. I know I say hate. I know you don't, but I say I really just cliches. I don't, but I think this is one that is actually true.
And if you need another, rather than just wordage of it, recognize that you are sacred. You're not random.
Yeah.
You have a soul. And whether you recognize or love it, it's loved.
Yeah.
And the other thing somebody I'd read about was looking at yourself objectively. Listen to what people say. Yeah. When they've told you were kind, when they told you something you did mattered, look at yourself through their eyes. For a little while. I remember as a parent, I used to think if they could see them as I see them, they wouldn't be. Of course, when you're
being
in junior
a bully
high,
or whatever,
anyway. But the point is, sometimes when we can see how others see us, and go, oh, that helps. Yeah. But I do believe it has to be deep, that you believe your sacredness. Yeah. Your worthiness.
And it can take some time, but it's worth it to get there, Yeah.
You
have books?
I do have 2 books. One is, and we'll post them, it's called Life of the Beloved, Spiritual Living in a Secular World. And it's by Henry Nouwen. And he wrote this to a friend who was kind of, I don't believe what you do. Yeah. Convince me.
That's cool.
And it's Life of the Beloved. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, it looks short.
Yeah, and it's written to be read easily.
Yeah, because he was writing it to a friend then.
Yeah. And the other one is Everything Belongs by Richard Rohr. It's a little deeper, a little bit more, but it really, I don't know, I think it has a lot of depth. It does have a lot of depth. One of the things it says is all spiritual disciplines have one purpose: to get rid of the illusions so that we can be present. These disciplines exist so that we can see what is, see who we are, and see what is happening. On the contrary, our mass cultural trance is like scales over our eyes. We see only with the material eye. If we begin just to see through the media, through social, through what others say, it's not real, to get to yourself. Yeah. The true self, the authentic self, the beautiful self that always is there. So anyway, those are the 2 books that I would recommend.
Nice. Yeah. I haven't read either of those, so I might.
Have you not? I think maybe Lauren had that one. Then.
Life of the Beloved would be good.
That would be a good,
good word.
Fantastic.
I know,
my
little
one for
book
y'all
group.
to read.
I have to do that. Awesome. Okay, so that's our first episode for the new year.
Happy New Year.
Oh my gosh, and we'll have our 1 year anniversary coming up for the podcast.
Yeah.
Woo. So this month's theme of just, trying to set you guys up to have a good mindset in the new year. Hopefully something that you can maintain. And so we have loving yourself, and then the next step is forgiving yourself. I know. Hard. So that's what we're going to tackle next week.
All right.
But if you have, again, we start the new year, we're always open to topic suggestions, or if you have anybody that you think we should talk to, please just let us know. You can DM us on Instagram or send us an email. Any of that works for sure.
Yeah. And we look forward to next week when we take a breath and take a listen.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of An Incomplete Guide to Personal Growth. There are many ways you can stay connected. Follow us on Instagram at An Incomplete Guide Podcast, where you can sign up for our email list and get posts that delve deeper into our weekly topics. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast page wherever you listen to your podcasts. We would really appreciate a rating and sharing us with your family and friends.
We're so glad you chose to spend your time with us, and hope there was a thought, a resource, or a laugh that you can take on your journey. We'll be here every Tuesday for you to take a breath and take a listen.